And we're off, guys. Church with Jesse Lee Peterson. Rebuildingtheman.com/church. Make sure you check it out. Ladies, Women's Forum, third Thursday of the month. That's this Thursday. Ladies, do join us. Shout out to JLP for a fun show. And we're off, I do believe, right? It is 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Standard Time here in Los Angeles. The 12th of February, Monday, AD 2024. Gonna have a fun, hopefully fun, loosey-goosey Monday show for you guys. Take some calls. Talk about the Super Bowl. I don't know how to pronounce Mahomes. Is it Mahomes? Mahomos? No, not that one. Sorry, kids. Sorry, ladies. Sorry, gentlemen. Some mess. Taylor Swift doing the PDAs. And now Travis Kelce all over aggressive. Or Kelsey. I think it's Kels. Pushing coaches around. I didn't even watch a lick of it. But Usher, y'all, a mess. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about based Trump scaring the CNN. Mahomes and Kelsey. Joel Friday correcting Hake on the pronunciations. That's a switch. Nice. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. I have my the All Thoughts Are Lies t-shirt from American Anchor Baby on the Jesse Lee Peterson store. One of the Jesse Lee Peterson stores. Rebuildingtheman.com/stores to get yours. Mr. Pink says, I have that shirt in black. Yeah, a lot of people get the one in black. I believe it's in the spread shirt section. Let me check. See if it's in the spread shirt or... Oh, no, it's in Society 6. It's on the Society 6 store. All thoughts are all lies all the time about everything. Shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson for the wisdom. You want to know. You don't want to think. Stick with what you know. Right? And this is size medium. I don't know. Some people would think that this is a little... not exactly the best fit for Hake. Hake should have gotten a large. Maybe I should get a large. Do I look silly wearing the medium? Sometimes mediums fit great. It's hit and miss. It's a gamble. Even from the same brand of t-shirt. So that's FYI. So I would like to start off with a call or two, guys. You guys caught the Super Bowl? Well, I think David in Ocala wants to talk about one of the commercials or two. David in Ocala, Florida. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great today.
Nice.
So you got that medium shirt problem, don't you?
Yeah, because medium, normally it fits perfectly. Sometimes not so perfectly. Sometimes a little snug. Sometimes even a little big.
I know, it's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, it's a Chinese medium. Full, it's 100% cotton too, by the way.
Then it'll shrink up.
Yeah.
And then it'll be too small.
Right.
I know. I got the same issue.
Yep.
So, hey, before you get going, that last caller on Jesse Lee show, that was a trip about his wife cooking eggs for him and stuff, right? Wow.
Oh, yeah, that was yeah. That's how people are.
Delay.
People are a mess.
Yeah, well, I called to talk to you. Yeah, the Super Bowl commercials, and then I got something else. But Yeah, did you notice that they have a new movie out? I guess it's gonna be the new oh shoot, what is it? Wizard of Oz. But it's called
Wicked. Yeah.
Yeah, and the freaking Wicked Witch of the West is black.
Interesting. Is it a mildly attractive black, right? Isn't it? It's not a Maxine Waters black.
No, but it doesn't matter, man.
Yeah.
Okay? The freaking lady's not black. It's just like the Little Mermaid.
That's true. She's
not
green.
Black.
She's green, and she has one of those noses, witch noses, you know?
Yeah, right. But the point is, you don't mess with stuff like that. What's the problem with these people?
Oh, yeah. It's that diversity mess.
Well, yeah.
They're kissing up to the blacks
that,
and giving them roles that aren't even meant for them.
Right. Well, it's like this. I'm black, and I'm better than you, and if you say anything about it, you're a racist.
Yeah, I know. That's true, man.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about every black like that. I'm talking about people like Sonny Houston, Whoopi Goldberg, Oprah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
I do.
I guess you're. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I totally get you. What you're saying. They're pushing that black's power, black supremacy, black girl power stuff. It's pathetic and it's shameless.
Well,
they're trying to convince themselves and everybody else. Black girl magic. We can appreciate their talents. They're funny, or sometimes funny, oftentimes entertaining, not always. Sometimes good athletes, but that's about it. Some of them have some sense. More and more rare nowadays. So, yeah. True.
Yeah, well, I guess you heard, Sonny Houston found out that her relatives were slave owners or something like that.
Yeah, somebody called into my show.
Real hard, didn't it? Huh?
Are you the one who called into my show? Somebody called into my show telling me that, and then maybe before that, JLP played it on his show last week.
No, I called you and told you about LeVar Burton.
Okay.
From Root.
Yeah. I think it was on the Jason Lee Peterson show that I heard that about Sonny Houston. He definitely covered it. Sonny Houston of The View, this sort of straight-haired, part black, part Puerto Rican, part Spaniard. Well, Spaniard by way of Puerto Rico.
I think she said her mom's white.
No, I don't think any of them are white. Her mother is, white Hispanic because she's part Puerto Rican, right?
Oh, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess so.
I mean, people call Hispanics white, but that's...
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did not watch a lick of it.
You didn't?
Nope. I was not interested. It's not like I was like... I was just busy.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, and I've never really enjoyed watching sports. When I would watch it, I would be like, I want to play. I want to play. I want to go outside and play. I would get restless watching the sports.
I can understand that.
Yeah. Sometimes it's fun to see like highlights, see great athleticism, basketball and all that stuff. That's cool.
I was watching a lot of those like 48 hours where first 48 where these people get shot and stuff like that. And, they say that if they can solve the case, if they don't solve the case within 48 hours, they got like a 50% chance less of solving the case.
Yes, I have heard of that.
All those shows are black on black or black on brown killings. Maybe 10% of them are white people.
Right. No, I mean, they dominate the violent crime. Those two races, blacks, number one, seem to dominate in violent crimes. And then Hispanics trail behind them. And then way distant is whites. And then behind them is the Asians. The Asians do other kind of crimes.
Here, I saw this. I don't know how true this is, but this is a percentage that I saw. This is the divorce rate, okay, besides white, with a white man and a white woman, versus if a a white woman marries a black man, they have a 200% higher divorce rate than a white woman marrying a white man.
Oh, really?
And watch this. Yeah, and watch this. If a white man marries a black woman, they have a 44% chance less divorce rate than a white woman marrying a white man.
Repeat that?
Okay. A white woman versus a white man divorce rate, okay, is like, 50% or whatever.
Okay.
But
wow. That's
if a white woman marries a black man, she has a 200% higher divorce rate than if she married a white man. Now, if a white man marries a black woman, though, they got a 44% chance less divorce rate than white on white.
a 44%
Less.
less?
Yeah, less. Yeah.
If a white
Less
man marries a
divorce
black
rate.
woman?
Yeah, if a white man marries a black woman, got a 44% less divorce rate. But if a white
white
woman
on white.
marries a black man, 200%.
They call that paying the toll.
Paying the toll.
If you
paying the price.
Yeah. Man, that's
Yeah.
I can kind of understand it because you look at how the typical type of people who do those things, whether it's interracial or same race or whatever, how they act or how they get turn over their lives. The men sometimes turn over their lives to the black women and just let the black woman kind of dominate and so-called lead.
Mhm.
That
Right.
often happens. And so the man just goes and is like all peaceful or appeasing.
Well, 70% of the divorces are initiated by the woman anyway.
I've heard that. I've heard it's 80%, but you're right. It's very high. I don't know what the numbers are, but they kind of dominate the. They push. They quit easily. They're quitters.
Mm-hmm.
And they're underhanded and evil.
They had another commercial on last night about some Jesus commercials that they had, and they had these people washing each other's feet.
Yeah, JLP played
racial.
that. J.C. Lee Peterson played that on the third hour of the show today. Yeah, toward like after a couple of calls with some ladies, he played the "He Gets Us" ad campaign.
Right.
What did you think of that?
I think it was racially motivated to stir stuff up.
Yeah. So describe what it was. Describe what you saw, because I didn't see it except for...
It was like a black police officer washing some Spanish girl's feet, and then, you had some yuppie white girl washing some other girl's feet in front of an abortion clinic. I mean, it's just total, not what that was about. When Jesus only washed the disciples' feet.
Right.
And washed anybody else's. Okay.
And who even knows or understands feet washing today? It's irrelevant.
Right. Hardly anybody got that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it just shows the motive. But they did have a Jewish hate thing, too, about the Jews. Remember the Jews being,
Was that in the same ad or a different ad?
No, it was at the night. No, it came on after that or whatever.
Okay.
But it was in there, about the... people
hating Jews.
Yeah, you're right. And
yeah.
I told you that was going to happen once that Palestine. I mean, it was already going on, but
right.
I told you it was going to ramp up after that attack.
That's what happens when something happens that's sort of big news. All the looky-loos from other countries start acting like it's their business and fighting one with another over it. People's egos, pride, taking sides gets puffed up to the max, and it exposes the divisions, and it encourages and amplifies the divisions because it's a bunch of devils fighting over nothing that has nothing to do with them.
You're right. How about when after 9/11, we went and invaded Iraq, who had absolutely nothing to do with the attack on those trade centers.
I know, that was weird. I remember thinking, that's weird. I thought it was Al-Qaeda or Taliban or Afghanistan or something. What Iraq?
Right. And then everybody got so pro-American, God bless the USA and everything. And there was this woman, her son was on a Black Hawk helicopter.
Yeah.
She was all pro-America, pro-war and all that until she was watching the news one day and saw that a Black Hawk helicopter went down and her son was on it.
Whoa.
And and her son passed away, so she went up to Washington and started protesting the war.
Yeah.
See? Yeah, so
Brutal.
Well, hey, one other thing before I go, I was wondering, because up in your area, I saw this on the news, that in Stockton, California, they impounded like 88 cars on a sideshow one night. You know how those kids get out in the middle of the intersections and do all kinds of stuff?
They do donuts and all that stuff. They do these street takeovers. So where was this? 88? Where was this at 88 cars or something? Got impounded?
Stockton, California.
Oh, okay, like NorCal, near the Bay Area, I guess. Kind of.
Yeah, and they're not letting them have them cars back, man.
Right on. That's pretty impressive that they were able to apprehend so many cars. How did that happen?
I think they had an idea it was going to go down, so they set it up a couple of days in advance, and then went out there and just took all their cars.
That's great. I'm happy when. I mean, I kind of cheer on the misfortune of the people who get themselves in trouble by making trouble for the rest of us. Those street cars are obnoxious. Those street takeovers are obnoxious.
The problem is people getting run over. You got people get out there, haul it and doing like 90, and accidentally run over people by accident, man. It's, that's what they're trying to stop. So,
well, what I've seen is that they're like driving around in circles, kind of skidding around, and there's like this crowd around them, and the crowd is like trusting that the car's not going to go spin out wild, and then it takes somebody out sometimes.
That's happened.
But that's not the problem. The problem is I was on my way back from the airport like a year or so ago. Maybe I went down to Florida or something like that. And then coming back, I had to we were just stopped because at, say, La Cienega and Jefferson or something like that, they had a street takeover. So all the cars were just sitting there waiting to cross this intersection, and we couldn't for many, many minutes. So I had to go off a mile over and come up La Brea or something like that. It's crazy. So they get in the way. They're a nuisance, and they're all loud, and they stink because they're burning rubber. So it's awful for the neighbors and the people. I don't care. I don't really care that much about people being out there and getting themselves hurt because that's their fault for being out there.
I got you.
I mean, it's not good.
Police, I'm sure that's one of the reasons why they're cracking down on it. You know, when some innocent 17-year-old girl gets run over or something like that. That's horrible. So, hey, I want to shout out to William in California.
Nice.
I did. Yeah, he had brought up Don Garlett's. He went to Don Garlett's, museum down here, so he knows where I live. I live about 20 miles away from that place. But anyway, I wanted to shout out to him and tell him to look up this song called 49 Reasons by Julius Brockington. Check that song out, William, for me, and tell me what you think of it, okay?
Nice.
Hey, I appreciate you, James, for talking with me today, and you have a great show.
You too. Have a good day, David. Appreciate you.
I will. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Eric is a first-time caller in California. Eric, thanks for calling, man. What's up?
Hey, Mr. Hake. How you doing today? Can you hear me okay?
I can. You sound great.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for taking my call. I'm here behind the enemy wire here in California. I feel like I'm constantly under attack. My question is I was a Mormon for years.
Wow.
And I think I'm being drawn closer to Christianity, but I really subscribe to what you and Jesse talk about, and I can't say there's one thing that I disagree on that you guys talk about. But I guess my main issue is what drove me away from the Mormon church, and I don't know what you and Jesse would say about this, was tithings. You know, the hand came out and they wanted money. And, you know, I don't know if there's necessarily anything wrong with that other than I don't have the money to give them. But in the Mormon church, there was the 10 Commandments, and then I can't remember what they called where tithings fell into it. And basically, if you didn't tithe, then you weren't seen right in the eyes of God, for lack of better terms. So, you know, being part of that church, I never felt like I was doing the work I needed to do, so I didn't feel worthy, and mainly because of tithing. So what's your opinion on that, sir?
I don't have a big opinion on tithing or not tithing. It should be something that's not other people's business, you know? I know that in the Old Testament, God had them give 10% of whatever they got to him somehow, some way. And
yeah,
so that's what tithing is. Tithing means 10%. And
right, and that.
So I just had the habit of doing it because that's how I was raised, but it wasn't anything that was really pushed on me other than just that's how I was raised, but I wasn't guilted into it or anything. And I wasn't raised. You were raised Mormon, or you just went into it?
No, sir. I was not raised with any religious faction, so to speak. I had some trouble in my life and didn't know where else to turn about 11, 12 years ago.
Okay.
And there was a church close to my house, and actually the missionaries, that's right, the missionaries started coming by.
Yeah.
And instead of turning them away, I let them in the house. So yeah, that's what turned me on to that.
So that's why it was troublesome for you, because you weren't raised with it. You weren't raised with tithing naturally all the time anyway. So it was maybe more of a struggle for you financially. You were not in a position to be able to spare that type of money or whatever.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm a blue collar worker. You know, me and my wife both work every day, and we have a child. And
yeah,
I mean, I guess I could, and realistically, I could spare the money, but then I wouldn't be saving for my retirement.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my friend in the church, I think he gave $23,000 last year. That was 10%. He makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
But
you don't want to do it you should not do it out of this false notion of guilt or this obligation, which is the same thing, basically. You don't want to do it like that. You should be giving from the heart. God loves a cheerful giver. You should be giving cheerfully, or not be. I mean, you should just give as the Lord leads you. I don't think that you necessarily have to have it like that now. And with I don't know if the tithing thing really applies. You know, applies like it's a rule. God said, "Test and see," and blah blah blah, and all, like you'll get back what you give, more than what you give, or something like that. So you don't want to have a needy relationship with money, nor do you want this guilt relationship with God.
Well, that's how I agree with that, and thank you. I mean, that's the answer I was looking for. And the way the Mormon Church was set up was it's just something you have to do, and if you're not doing that, then it wasn't one of the 10 Commandments, I don't think. I can't remember how. I don't think so either.
I think it was just something that he said they should do, but it wasn't part of the first 10.
Right. Okay, so I don't know what the definition of it was in the Mormon religion, but basically, if you weren't doing it, you weren't seen right in the eyes of God. So, and Jesse talks about not reading the Bible, if I'm not mistaken.
He says read it. He says read it. It's good to read, but not to remember. Not try to, because when you're trying to remember it, when you're interpreting it and getting all into it and studying it, he says that's Satan gets into your mind and interprets for you. As soon as you see these words, you start thinking that you know what it means, and your mind tells you, and all these other people tell you what it means, and there's no room for the Spirit to bring understanding.
That makes sense, because I listen to it every day on the way to work, but I have a trouble remembering it. I would have to just grind away at it to remember it.
Yeah.
So that's good to know.
Some of the Jews are good at memorizing stuff, and I think Jesus in Jesus' time, they would memorize that stuff. But that didn't help most of them. It did not help most of them at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And hey, one quick question. I know you got a program here. I got one more.
All right.
Do I need to go to church to be worthy of God's love and worthy of Him welcoming me into His kingdom when that time comes, or can I just practice Christianity on my own with my family?
I don't think that God said that you have to go to church to be welcomed or loved by Him. So no, I don't think you have to. It does say in the Bible, don't give up. Let us not give up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing. But if you're meeting up with your family, and I think it says, Jesus said, where two or more are gathered in my name, I'm there. So you'll find your fellow church members naturally in life, and maybe you find a quote-unquote normal traditional church that you want to go to. That's fine, but you don't have to. For years when I was a kid, my dad never went to the church that we were going to, very rarely. But I saw him as a very strong, real Christian living it.
Okay, thank you. I guess somewhere in my head I got the idea that if I didn't go to church, then I wasn't, again, kind of along with tithings, I wasn't doing my part.
Yeah, but many of the churches aren't doing their part. You notice?
I agree. I agree, and that's a big part of why I left the church I was in.
Yeah.
So
eventually, you could go to a church and be a light at that church, be an example and one of the men at that church, or you start your own, or you just meet with people who are of the same mind, or you just lead your family, lead your wife and children. That's really what's really important right now if your children are young.
Well, my son's 12.
Nice.
And my wife was a Mormon for her whole life.
Okay.
So yeah, my family is super important, and just practicing our religion and our love for God and for Jesus is really important to me.
Okay.
The circle outside of that's not very big.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't have to be. A man of many friends comes to ruin. Isn't that said somewhere?
Oh, dude, I totally agree. I always tell my son, I always ask my son, is that really your friend?
Yeah.
And you'll find that you can you can put all your friends right in the palm of your hand at some point. People you can really call your friends.
Yeah.
Hey, your first name is James?
Yeah.
That's my brother's name. I got an identical twin. Good name.
Right on, man. Are you Eric with a K? Not to dox. I just want to have it spelled right for myself.
No, that's fine. It's with a C, E-R-I-C.
Okay. Nice. Well, right on, man.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hake.
It's good to hear from you. Eric.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was cool. Appreciate you. Call me again sometime.
Thanks, brother.
All right.
Okay, buddy.
All right. Bye. That's cool. I got to get to Mark in Los Angeles. I wasn't able to get to him on Friday. Mark in Los Angeles, California. Thanks for calling and holding, man. What's up?
Yes, sir. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk initially about the Super Bowl ads, but you kind of covered that with David from McCalla, who's a good man. David from McCalla, good guy.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'll make it quick. I don't even like to bring up the snake from Phoenix, and I'll end it with just saying this. His attempts to warn you, quote unquote, about this phony communist law that they may pass is a veiled attempt by him to get you to cancel me or to block me. That's all it is. You could see right through it.
It is some type of setup. it's sort of a underhanded sort of female threat / attack / setup to point to and then say, see, I warned, and try to get me in trouble.
That's all it is. He's probably pushing for you to be taken off as it is.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to let you know, don't give in to his evil and ban me to please him, because that's all that he's doing. This law, if it ever passes, could never pass court scrutiny because it violates the First Amendment.
Well, I don't know. The courts are quite corrupt, so don't be surprised if evil seems to thrive in the world.
If this crazy law that he supports passes, that would mean basically every real conservative would be banned. So I don't really think it's going to happen. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep speaking and exposing devils like him. Now, what I wanted to talk about was the Super Bowl. If you don't mind, if I could say this, I feel personally that the game was rigged from the beginning because Taylor Swift is financed by Soros. George Soros is what made her what she is. And this clown boyfriend that she's got is being used as well. But I knew the Chiefs were going to win that thing because they're Biden supporters, Taylor Swift is. And, it's a fake love story that's supposed to make everybody think, oh, wow, these are real people. I mean, these are good people.
Yeah.
Let's vote for Biden. That's what the whole thing was. I feel personal. Again, this is a personal opinion. I think they've been rigging games in the NFL since they've legalized gambling. They'll show it on Facebook Shorts sometimes. They'll show how players miss tackles, how refs throw bad calls, and it's usually in favor of the Chiefs. Most of the cheating that I saw during the regular season was to favor the Chiefs, but there were other dirty calls too.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, the liberals and the degenerates have actually taken over the NFL now.
I'm not into speculating about stuff. I mean, I don't even care. We shouldn't even be watching this evil Super Bowl stuff because it's a bunch of the NFL has been corrupt ever since when they started wearing pink for that pro-abortion women's cancer, Susan G. Komen for the Cure stuff. The football player's been wearing pink.
Right, and when they started the kneeling, that really radicalized it. But
pink is a girl color. They're turning these black men, mostly black men, by the way, into wearing girl colors. It's sick. Yeah, it is sick. But a little bit of good news, if you don't know this, Stephen Miller and America First Legal, thank God, they're finally suing the NFL for the racist Roney rule, which mandates that anytime an NFL team is going to hire a new coach, they have to interview a Negro. So this is outright discrimination. I forgot about that.
Right, and Stephen Miller is suing that creep that runs NFL, whatever his name is, that's big, soft slob, self-hating white man.
Yeah.
I hope he sues for every dime he could get.
Stephen Miller is my 5th favorite Jew, I think. I forget which but he's one of my favorite Jews, Stephen Miller. He was in the Trump administration. Solid
he
guy.
was the best.
Young man.
He was the best.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. And I'm really hoping that America First Legal can sue all these equity, diversity, communist ideas that are destroying the workforce with unqualified boobs that they can't fire. You hire a colored guy and he messes up, it's hard as heck to fire him.
Right.
So this is what they want. I mean, this is what the future is. We're going to have substandard everything. Even I think I heard Jesse Lee Peterson saying that they're even hiring unqualified air traffic controllers.
Yeah. It's infected everything. Look at it's infected all the way to the highest levels of the government. Obama, affirmative action president.
Yes. Yeah, he was the devil. And Biden is Obama the third term, basically.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much of this we could take. I mean, how many more illegals are going to flood this country before this communist is out of power.
Yeah.
You know, and it's Biden is just a puppet. I'm sure you know that it's Obama
Oh,
pulling
yeah.
the strings, and Obama hates America. He hates white America.
Yeah.
And one
Just like
other
his
thing-
mother did. His white mother hated white America.
Yeah, she was a self-hating commie.
Yep.
But did you happen to watch the game yesterday?
Not even a smidgen of it.
Okay, so you're boycotting the NFL?
Yeah, but it takes nothing for Hake to boycott the NFL. Hake doesn't know anything about sports anyway, pro sports. So, but yes, partly it's that, and then partly I have never been into to watching sports.
Yeah, well, it's America's pastime.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, you know.
Baseball
there
was
was
originally.
Baseball was, that's true.
Yeah, but pro sports in general used to be a very American patriotic thing, but not so anymore.
No, they've infested everything from the military to professional sports.
Yep.
To the schools or indoctrination centers.
Yeah.
And incidentally, I just want to mention the immunity trial for President Trump is supposed to be appealed today. The three criminal judges that turned Trump's immunity plea down only gave them less than a week to appeal, to show their evil. Less than a week. And that Asian woman, I don't remember her name, Yan or something like that. I saw her get when she was being appointed. I saw when they were, asking her questions. I mean, I don't know how she got through.
Wow. She's one of the three judges, huh? I think I remember showing pictures of these three judges in this Trump
three
case.
Evil ones. Was it a 3-0 decision, do you know, or 2-1?
I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder how that Bush appointee voted, probably against Trump.
Yeah, they're lame.
They are lame. The Bush Republicans are nothing different than Democrats. They're evil from toe to head.
Yeah.
But, so like I say, they've infected everything. I hope Trump wins his immunity case, because that'll throw out the document case that they let Joe Biden get away with, but they're coming after Trump, and he had a right to have them. So maybe this immunity thing will get Trump out of this setup that he's in Florida, and then we could just get him in the office and start cleaning house in this country.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Anyway, man.
That's all I got for you.
Appreciate you, Mark. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Real quick. We were talking about Commie Nonsense Network. CNN is pretending to be scared of Trump. I have some CNN headlines from this this morning that I caught. The 2024 campaign gets grimmer. Grim. It's not grim. I mean, I'm barely paying attention. With Trump's extremism on full display, say Commie Nonsense Network, alongside concerns over Biden's age. Concerns over Biden's age. That's a communist line. We're not concerned about his age. We're concerned, well, we're not really concerned. The people who are supporting Biden are concerned about his mental state. He looks like he's spaced out even right there, whereas Trump looks like he's there. People have said, oh, Trump is not as sharp as he used to be. That may be true. He is in his late 70s now, right? But there's no comparison with Biden's just off. And plus, Biden's just pure evil anyway. But extremism. And what extremism are they talking about? Well, there's this headline. Trump says he would encourage Russia to, quote, do whatever the H-E double toothpicks they want. Do whatever they want. Do whatever the heck. But he didn't say heck. He said the manly word. Don't say that word, kids. You're kids. You can't say it. They want to any NATO country that doesn't pay enough. And ladies, you shouldn't be cussing either. It's only men are allowed to cuss because it's manly authority words. Maybe every now and then, I guess. But it's just not ladylike to be cussing all the time, ladies. But shout out to the cussing ladies. To any NATO country that doesn't pay enough. So Russia, go take out Ukraine if you want. Ukraine is not part of NATO, at least not yet, but they're trying to bring them in. And they're all scandalized by his saying this. Because these people, these what are they called? Freeloaders. are freeloading their free defense from Big Brother America. No, you got to pay your fair share. You got to do your military spending or something like that so that you can pull your weight, even if you're lightweight. You pull lightweight. If you're responsible with little, you'll be entrusted with more, with a little bit. If you're responsible with a lot, you can be trusted with a lot. America has not been responsible or trustworthy lately. But under Trump, he wants to bring back responsibility. That's cool. And force responsibility on the rest of the world. I like that. Shout out to Trump. What else happened in these headlines here? So Trump's shocking NATO remark caused alarm in Europe. They're still complaining about January 6th. Oh, there was something else that was funny. Oh, this is not funny, but show this. Speaking of war, because NATO has to do with war, defense, and stuff like that. Look at this picture. Is this real? Israeli forces rescue 2 hostages as strikes kill dozens of Palestinians. I read this in Hake News. And look at this group hug. Why would you want a picture of that? There's a bunch of these Israeli. I guess these are Israelis. I don't know if this is a stock photo. It doesn't look like a stock photography. I guess they're reunited, and so they're all happy. Well, we wish them well. Congrats on being reunited and freed from being a hostage for however many months. October 7th, right? Until February 12th. November, December, January, February. 4 months. That must be rough. But don't take a picture of this and these. Anyway. What we're looking at is 1, 2, 3. I think there's a 3, 4, 5 heads. All kind of hugging one another. Ugh. That one dude looks like he's in rough shape. Kind of older. And I presume that these are Israelis. Jewish people. So that image was strikingly... I wouldn't want to get my picture taken if I were in a group hug like that. I've never done a group hug like that, I don't think. Anyway, they love the emotion and drama. And so they're hyping as if Trump is this bad person. NATO's the bad people, you know? Shaking my head. Ridiculous. Latin A in Cali is on the line. Thank you, Hassan. Latin A, thanks for calling and holding. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hey,
Pat.
Latina.
Gentlemen, thank you for taking my call, Hake.
Yeah, of course.
Hopefully I won't be so boring so that the chatters won't complain about it being boring.
Okay.
I was wondering if you've ever considered doing like a once-a-week meme stream where you like share some memes that you liked during the week, you know?
I have been remiss in not checking memes. I used to get some memes from the internet.
Yeah,
Shout
and then,
out to the
you
internet.
can have us email them to you or post them to you on your Twitter.
Yeah.
I put one last night on my Community tab, and it was about the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Since you're talking about the Super Bowl, do you want me to tell you what it says?
Sure.
It says, hey, did you watch the Super Bowl? And then, Stoic Man says, no, I'm straight.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I should say now. No, I don't watch pro sports. I'm straight. Hake should have censored the photo of the group hug. Yeah, true. Nice. I appreciate that meme. It's a good meme, and it's a good joke because there's truth to it. People who are all into sports like that, that's something wrong with them.
I forgot to mention Jerry Sandusky.
Jerry Sandusky, he's a coach, right? He was a coach who got in trouble
He
for
was a coach.
something,
Mhm.
some type of sexual thing with ladies, young ladies, or young
No,
people,
he was
but
after the
underage people.
boys. No, he was after the boys.
Oh, man, terrible. Okay, what about him? Or is that
my
just kind of
meme-
feed into the
in
sports
relation
degeneracy
in
stuff?
relation to the meme, yes, and to the sports degeneracy.
Yeah,
How they've infiltrated everywhere and they're not scared to get caught, you know?
right. Yeah. It's not good.
Not good.
Yeah. Nice. Well, thank you for the tips and suggestions, Latin A in Cali. Appreciate hearing from you.
Thank you.
Take
My
care.
pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Pink is on the line. Mr. Pink, thank you for calling, man. What's up?
What up, Hank?
Not much.
Just want to kind of get my little Super Bowl comments in there, and but I just real quick wanted to talk about this guy was talking about tithing earlier.
Yes.
And the whole idea of that was olden times, and the word tithe literally meant, to give a tenth of your income
Yeah.
to the church. But
Yep.
that was when the church didn't have anything. It was a bunch of people gathering in like stone buildings. They needed to be able to like lift each other up and, support each other to get, the church going. And that made sense at the time. And it was also a little more reasonable to be able to do that kind of thing at the time.
Yeah, because you actually, when you made money, your money was actually worth something. And so you had some to spare.
Right.
Yeah.
And, that's why, I like the way it is at the church I go to is they don't guilt trip everybody on that stuff. And they say, give what you can. We're not twisting your arm.
Yeah.
It's like, if you appreciate what we're doing here, because of course the pastor's got to get paid.
Right.
And they have to, upkeep the building and things like that. They got to get the money from somewhere. It's not just going to come from the ether.
Yeah.
So.
True. It came from the Old Testament.
That's why, every
originally.
now and then.
God said,
exactly.
give
But
10% and test and see, and I will give you pressed down, shaken together, and running over. I don't know. Maybe that's something else.
Yeah.
I'm mixing up my Bible verses.
Every now and then I'll throw like $20 in the pot,
Nice.
It's no sweat,
Yeah. You
so
could
people
have it.
shouldn't
You could have
feel-
it auto. You could have. They have different churches, including Bond, has it so you can have it automatically take out from your bank, such and such amount per month. So
Hake with a little plug in there.
Oh yeah.
But no, I mean, like, that's the whole issue with, like, I didn't realize that about the Mormons, that they were twisting people's arms like that bad.
I did not know that
Same thing
either.
with the Catholic Church. Same thing with the Catholic Church, though. It's all about the guilt and,
some of the black churches.
You got to pay.
The black
Yeah,
churches.
but
Some
you
of
gotta
these pastors
pay
are
for your
shameless.
forgiveness.
Oh,
It's all
wow.
about you got to pay for your
Really?
forgiveness. You
I
got to
thought they got rid
pay
of that.
for. But that's like the whole idea.
Yeah.
That where they're off base is that you got to constantly be seeking to earn your forgiveness, and you got to feel guilty for what Jesus did, and blah blah blah. That never was the plan. That never was what Jesus was talking about, or any of the apostles. It's all about lifting each other up. Anyway, just read you a quick verse that can apply to every side of the callers that call in, whether they're right wing or left wing or in their own ego or not. It says in Ephesians 4:29, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that may minister grace unto the hearers.
Nice.
Okay. So that's like, that applies to anybody. Especially like, we just got Mark talking about his conspiracy theory about Taylor Swift and all that stuff. And it's like, you can read into anything that you want and make it into some mess.
Right. You shouldn't necessarily believe,
honestly,
you shouldn't believe your imagination. Or
right,
what something
that's
seems
a huge
to point
thing
to.
I've gotten from Jesse is, don't believe into the thoughts and then create your own situations in your head, and then you go and follow that, and it gets you way off the straight and narrow, way off.
Mm-hmm.
Last night I was noticing after the game, and I looked at that top headline on Drudge, and it was, of course, Chiefs win. But then accentuated, dumb Biden, he put out a Twitter post, and it was that picture of him with those red eyes and that meme,
Oh.
and he said, just like we drew it up, because he was mocking people.
Right.
It was mocking Make America Great Again folks for creating this stupid situation that they were going to rig the Super Bowl so that they could have Taylor Swift promote. And that might happen. She might promote, Democrats and all that stuff.
Of course.
But does that mean that they all like had this deep-seated plan and they were like sitting around the table like, what we're going to do now is we're going to rig the whole Super Bowl and make everybody watch because of that. And that's just a bunch of nonsense. It's just getting into your own head.
Yeah.
A bunch of stupidness.
True. So that was Ephesians? No corrupt communication?
Yes, Ephesians 4:29.
Okay, nice. I like that.
That's big. Yeah, but no, I mean that doesn't have to do with just cussing. Right? Of course, people can take it down to that, and I appreciate your show for that because you kind of watch your corrupt communication in that.
Yeah, the cussing, that's not what they meant. Cussing is
not necessarily.
Just,
no, of course, I'm
inappropriate at times, of course, and it maybe speaks
and I'm
to
sure
like your...
that's included in it, but it's talking about letting the imagination speak for you. It's about letting the devil speak through your thoughts.
Yeah,
like don't.
It's far more because you can go your whole life and never cuss and be worse or every bit as evil as the worst cussing sailor woman. For sure, because then you're like this false self-righteousness.
The communication that you're putting out there, because it could be lies, it could be misleading, it could be wrong ideas that you're trying to build up in other people. Like some people call and they make up stuff about things that they assume they read in laws, right? That it can apply to you, so you better watch out, because they're putting these laws out there. And it's like, that's just as corrupt communication because you've read into something and then you think so you're trying to guide people's lives based off of what you think you figured out.
And then the people that's how rumors get started, and people just start going way into their imaginations and then feeding off of other people's imaginations. And it's all evil, all lies, all phony.
Yeah, no,
and it has nothing to do with anything.
I super slept in this morning. I was going to call Jesse this morning and kind of talk about this kind of topic because I was doing the silent prayer, and I don't do it like every morning and every night. So apparently I'm going to suffer and die. But I was doing a silent prayer, and I realized, and he's talked about this before, about how quickly when you're trying to be silent and you're trying not to think, and the devil will put all these weird images and thoughts in your head, like just out of nowhere. And it's like, I wasn't even trying to think about that or do anything. Like I was sitting here the other day doing it, and all of a sudden I'm getting pictures in my mind of like skyscapes and like beautiful like scenery and landscapes. And I'm like, what in the world? Like,
wow.
What's going on here? I'm just trying to sit here and be present.
Right.
And it's just like, well, you got this to take care of today, and why are you just sitting around? And blah, blah, blah. And it's so like really, like the unconscious mind is a crazy like devil. It really is, and it'll screw you up. And it's like when you get in your own head about all this stuff, it's just a bunch of nonsense.
Jesus himself said, "Watch and pray. Keep watch."
Right.
He kept on saying stuff like that. Be self-controlled and alert.
Watch the thoughts. Don't engage in them. Don't make them your identity.
And he said, "Do not
got a
worry."
lot of people doing that. Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah,
like
it's part of it.
Anyway, so
thank you, man.
I guess I'll just say that the only good thing I saw on the Super Bowl was Stone Cold Steve Austin with a mullet.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good thing.
Yeah,
he had hockey hair.
It's a stupid commercial, but that was like the only good thing I saw. But like once again to get into they're rigging all the NFL games and stuff, like that game could have been won by anybody till the very last minute. I know you don't really care about sports, but I watched the game for the game.
It sounds like it was a great game.
Yeah, I grew up with a dad who was a sports director, and we have an appreciation for good competition like that. And it went to overtime. It was to the very last second. Either team could have won. So to assume, oh, I knew that they were going to let them win because they got a conspiracy to.
That's a fair point,
crazy.
man. Yeah.
It's just crazy, bro.
Keep a disciplined mind, everybody. Nice.
Yeah, for sure. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth.
Thank you, Mr. Pink. Appreciate you, man. Take care.
Gotcha, brother. See you.
All right. I'm going to get back to calls, guys, and more stories. But it is Soul Junk Sunday. I was thinking about playing that Lift Every Voice and Sing song by Shuby Taylor. But I don't have that ready for you today. Maybe another day. It is so-called Black History Month. Silly. But it's Soul Junk Sunday, continuing into Monday. This track is entitled, it's a little, perhaps slight bit obnoxious, repetitive, we'll call it. But I like the instrumentation and the feel of it. This track is called How We Flow. It's a Christian song from Soul Junk on the 2000 album 1956. I hope you enjoy it, you musical Philistines. I'll be right back for hour 2. Hang tight. Isn't this kind of fun? Kind of nice.
Shower. why? It's 'cause they cowards. These pussyfoot academic cowards. Rumors, bouquets, they just die in flowers. We from the jungle, but that devours. But Christ empowers. So why you doubt us? How we flow, yeah. Well, how we flow, y'all need to know just how deep we flow. How we flow, yeah. Well, how we flow, y'all need to know just how deep we flow. How we flow, yeah. Well, how we flow, y'all need to know just how deep we what you ask. How we flow, yeah. Well, how we flow, y'all need to know just how deep we flow.
Don't you like the banjo there? This is the music that Trump plays when he waved the rainbow flag on live TV, Hake. No, it's Christian. Stop it, my ears hurt. I like the banjo, Hake. Well, thank you guys for bearing with me through that, mildly attractive music and mildly unattractive. Shout out to Soul Junk. I appreciate you guys. Glenn Galaxy. Some super chats, a bunch of super chats to read, guys. Shout out to Hades 07524. Hades 07524 for the support. Thank you, man. He says, shout out to Rumble. Switching my donos here. Thanks for supporting. Hades 07524. He's now a subscriber there. That's cool. Thank you for the Ice Cream Kilo Alpha Tango. There was a super chat, a couple of super chats came in this morning. Carver says, hey, much like yourself, I did not watch the Super Bowl. Unlike you, I was not busy celebrating my birthday. I just don't really like football. That's American football, that is. When I said that's and that is, that was redundant. However, I do want to give a shout out to Little Caesars, the official sponsor of the Super Bowl. Wow. And they had some cool coupons because I ordered that day and got an extra coupon for some breadsticks on my next order. Anyway, what's your view on the game being R-worded? Igd Ray. I heard the big market, highly populated cities win to raise money. And then the Saints won that one year because of Hurricane Katrina. And now evil satanic Aryan princess, Taylor Swift, just so happened to win because her boyfriend, grown adult male boyfriend, Travis Kelce. Sounds like some shenanigans to me. P.S. $60 nachos? Triple question mark. Carver. I don't know if it's R-worded Igdare. I don't know. I do not know. I wouldn't get into speculation about it personally because the fact that people are so into it, that's what's rigged. Your attention is being misdirected away into stuff that doesn't even matter, Silly. But, I'm sure that there is some levels of dishonesty here or there. Really? Hake can't say rigged? Igdray? There are other things that we cannot say are Igdray. Nice. Amazing Asia gave it a coffee. Too busy for the Super Bowl? Were you with someone's woman? Emoji with a monocle looking through an eyeglass. Erika Badu said yesterday was the best time for women to cheat with betas because all the alphas were watching football. Whoa. Don't know who that is, but I disavow such a statement. And Amazing Asia is now a member, a monthly supporter on Hake. She says, I thought I was a member already, but I must have forgot to pay the bill. Laughing face emoji sideways with tears coming out. My bag. Well, thank you for the support, Amazing Asia. There was another super chat that I missed from Friday over on buymeacoffee.com. Someone says, I asked about the term RINO. If you recall, if you caught my Friday show, I defined RINO somewhat. Because it seems like sometimes you just use terms interchangeably / at will. Like communism and socialism. Those words have particular definitions. Don't believe the definitions, they're fake news. But you just seem to call things socialist or communist. And when asked, how is this communist? You kind of go, well, what I mean by communism is ... And then you proceed to talk about something that, according to this person, has nothing to do with communism. It is interesting to see. Oh, well, then you don't know what communism really is at its root. It's rooted in socialism, too. Rooted in atheism, in lies, in mama spirit. It's totally, you just don't know. You're uneducated. That's okay. That's okay. I love the less educated. It's like you are making a big stew and then you throw everything in the pot. Is this socialism or communism? It doesn't matter. Socialism is just communism. Communism is just socialism at the end of a gun, as Bill Lockwood says. Throw it. It doesn't matter. Throw it in. But when it comes to anger, you get technical about what it really is. Not really. Not really. It's not technical. It's just your mind is all confused. Your mind is confused. And it's amazing to me that so many people have an issue with Lincoln as an historical figure. But I bet you they won't go outside and throw away their $5 bills. Smiley face emoji with a little nose. Aw, nice. Just because an evil man, perhaps, maybe he was evil, is on their bill doesn't mean that they should throw their bills away. That makes no sense. That's illogical. Makes no sense. Not logical at all. Are you a woman? No. Shout out to you for the coffees. So communism is lies, atheism, mama spirit. Same thing with socialism. They're the same thing. And they're like, oh, actually, the means of production controlled by the workers. Dumb. Stupid. You don't know the nature of Satan. And sometimes I just have started to use just evil instead. Because you'll notice that the so-called conservatives, if they're angry, they're liberals. They're communists too. They're mama spirit. Popcorn's Thump Keg bought another coffee over there, saying, I've recently become a fan of a guy's YouTube channel, unnamed, who is a train hopper. Chronicles his travels across the country, hopping on freight trains, camping out, waiting a ride, etc. Fascinating to see someone live that type of life. I got caught up in the cool factor. Then it occurred to me what the guy is doing is illegal. Freight hopping, vandalism, tagging, trespassing. His followers, myself included, so enthralled with the content, we overlooked the illegal aspects of it. Wow. Kind of like that. There was a guy who was speeding 180 miles an hour, 150 miles an hour, something like that. Really fast, though. On a motorcycle, and he's a YouTuber. My point/question to you is, do you notice that we as a society like to say we need to go after the real criminals? Wink, wink. But when it's convenient, we're willing to look the other way. The same people who support stop and frisk or broken windows policing would say, leave this guy alone, says this person. Well, it is interesting, because I will have you know that the true free Americans, they did not used to like the police. They did not need the police, because they were self-governed. They were self-governed. And a lot of the evil laws made by evil politicians are being enforced by the police. And that goes to this day. To this day. What a shame. I am for slave catchers, though, because you have to have some form of law and order. If you're going to have slavery, you have to have slave catchers, because these people getting away, and that's crooked. That's cheating. Anyway, Popcorn's Thump Keg bought a coffee. So Mark claims that Soros is funding Taylor Swift. I had not heard that. And absolutely no pushback. Asked for proof, nothing. Well, you want me to nitpick every single claim? I don't know. Then he claims Obama is really pulling the strings behind the scenes. Again, zero pushback. Well, that's a fact. You don't know that the Obama administration, meaning the people from the Obama administration, are also in the Biden administration? Please. Now, I don't know if Obama is all involved personally, but the spirit that possessed Obama possesses, and it's the same exact people in many cases, that same administration running the show with Biden. And he wants to nitpick. You think Biden's running the show? Biden has always been, and now more than ever, A man blown and buffeted by the waves of what's popular. Swift's last tour did over $1 billion in ticket sales. So that's who's funding her. The masses of useful idiots, the communist Swifties. And how is Obama an affirmative action president? Because he's black and everybody's like, oh, this is going to be history. Wasn't he elected? Yes, that's de facto affirmative action. The spirit of evil affirmative action was so excited about the first black president. Give me a break. If you don't trust election results, I didn't say that. I trust election results. I guess you're questioning whether Trump really won too, right? Wrong. Wrong. But thank you for the coffees. Popcorn's thump keg. Nice. Testing 07524 set up a monthly tip saying the Black National Anthem isn't even good. It's convoluted. Wow. Is that a fact? Is it? I thought it was supposed to be like Christian, because lift every voice and sing, but it might not be. That's wild. Anyway, thank you guys for the super chats, the coffees, the Rumble rants, this subscriptions, monthly support. I appreciate it. I told you that Saturday was Chinese New Year, and I forgot all about Chinese New Year. I didn't text my Chinese friends anything. I didn't even text Yum Yum, Happy Chinese New Year. Yum Yum. Fang Fang. We made it. They call it Lunar New Year because they want to be politically correct. Commie Nonsense Network was calling it Lunar New Year. I used to do the firecracker race run. It was like a 10K or a 5K, 10K in Chinatown here in LA Sunday morning, and then come to church afterwards. The firecracker 10K in Chinatown in LA. There was some video about longevity noodles, which can be thick, thin, flat, or crispy. A lucky dish in high demand during the so-called holiday. And I hardly heard anything about it. Of course, I was up in the mountains hiking and having steak and burgers. So I wasn't thinking about the Chinese or the New Year, nor was I prepping for the evil Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, I was walking through the neighborhood, and I heard people singing all together like it was an actual holy day. You can tell what worldliness they falsely worship. So sick, this Super Bowl Sunday stuff. CNN, Commie Nonsense was covering the degeneracy. They, according to Flat Earth Victory in my chat, they went to her like 20 times, her reactions, T Swift's reactions. Well, that's smart. That's just sensible. That's what you would do because people are interested in what she's looking like. And she's an expressive face. She makes facial expressions, right? Something like that, I would imagine. I assume. Her songs are quite expressive. Why you gotta be so mean? One day I'll be living in a big old city, and all you're ever gonna be is mean. Why you gotta be so mean? That's my favorite Taylor Swift song. And I heard it on the Jesse Lee Peterson show back in the day when we were, that's how I heard it. That's how I ever heard most of her songs. She's such a disappointment. Ah, man. I have to show this Super Bowl. I don't know if I put this in the folder, actually. Oh, yes, I did. Peanut butter allergies. I didn't get to this on Friday. And then I'll get to calls. You can call in, guys. 888-77-JESSE. We are on Jesse Lee Peterson's network. 1-888-775-3773. Uber Eats Super Bowl commercial draws criticism over peanut butter allergy joke. You can't joke about peanut butter allergies? When I grew up, I had a friend in school. He was kind of fat at the time, but that's irrelevant. He was allergic to peanut butter. So I had heard of this even as a child. Like, his throat would kind of close up. Whoa. He got sick from it as a kid. And so there's this subtitle from Today, Far Left Extremist Today, somewhat affiliated with NBC, I believe, or something. Food allergy research and education express their disappointment in the latest Uber Eats Super Bowl commercial. They should be thanking them, honestly. Oh, but they have to feign like they're outraged. But they should be thanking them for spreading awareness. Food Allergy posted this on IG, and it has this guy who's eating peanut butter, and he's all like swelling up and has pimples or welts and red-faced on his thing. Show number 2 there. He's like, there's peanuts and peanut butter? Funny. Uber is evil, by the way. Uber wants you to delete their app if you're racist, meaning if you're normal and white. Then delete their app. Racism not allowed. Based peanut butter, says Lord Spike Protein. Lord Baby 42. No, don't do that on the... Some people they can't have that. People are way too soft, says Big Mitch 909. I don't know, but this guy's commercials are just not what they used to be, and they didn't even used to be good anyway back in the day, only rarely. So he's all swollen, his eyes shut, and they're making a joke. There's peanuts and peanut butter. And all the ladies on X, formerly known as Twitter, are reacting negatively. This woman, Ann Carlin, says the peanut allergy joke, and I did not like this tweet, okay? I did not like this X post. And it only has 7 likes, but Far Left Extremist Today is amplifying all these different posts. The peanut allergy joke in the Uber Eats Super Bowl commercial needs to be edited out. It does not take peanut allergy seriously. This commercial is making it worse for allergy sufferers, and it is dangerous to make a joke out of a life-threatening allergy, she says. Yeah, because more than just that necessarily happens to him, I guess, right? People die, I guess. You've had a really great commercial to the peanut allergy guy. How about you switch him out with the guy who forgets he's diabetic and doesn't take his insulin, or a soldier who has PTSD and forgets his medication, ? Nope, those wouldn't be funny either, would they? Edit the commercial, says Mary Cotillere. Something like that. Oh, show the different ones. Show the different posts on X. There's... Not so funny if you have a child with a peanut allergy, terribly insensitive to make a joke out of a life-threatening allergy. You have a few days, because they came out with the commercial beforehand. You have a few days. Cut the peanut allergy joke out right now. Kids die from this CRA blank. The rest of the ad is funny. That is just cruel. These ladies, all busybodies over this ad. And far be it from me to defend Uber Eats, because Uber hates white people. But that doesn't it kind of, that tweet is why we need to repeal the 19th Amendment, says, come on, man. A joke is dangerous. I know. These evil people, they hate speech, freedom of speech. And they're all oversensitive because they have children. There was this story of somebody who died. A man is eating a spoonful of peanut butter out of a jar while reading the label. There's peanuts and peanut butter? And he's getting an allergic reaction, an eye swelling, skin breaking out in hives. Oh, it's the primary ingredient. It's not good to make light of forgetting any food ingredients, given the severity of life-threatening food allergies that affect millions of children and adults, says Dr. Purvi Parikh, allergist and immunologist at Allergy and Asthma Network. What a name. How would you like to be associated with Allergy and Asthma Network? Deaths occur to these forgotten ingredients, and exposure Most recently to an NYC, a New York City dancer who died because the peanut was not disclosed as an ingredient. Wow. But that should really, if you have a peanut allergy, you are not morally straight. No, come on. This is helping to raise awareness, sort of. Although it really should show him, like, dying or something. Then that would be really funny. No, it wouldn't be funny. If your kid is allergic to peanuts, make sure they don't eat them. Don't cry about a stupid joke in a commercial. Yeah. My half and half container says contains milk. Yeah. What a mess. Terrible. I know people who are quite healthy and morally straight who have these allergies. I think it's spreading. It's spreading, this mess. But that's kind of nice because it lets people know, hey, some people are very allergic to peanuts, because some people never even heard of that. I've only heard of it by word of mouth from 2 different people. But now there's, thank you Uber Eats for spreading awareness. And I guess thank you eviltoday.com for amplifying these busybody women who are overreacting to it. They're like allergic to freedom of speech, ladies. Shout out to the ladies. On a serious note, Hake, don't give honey to a baby like before 1 year old, says Nugget Man. Oh, nice. Thank you, Nugget Man. Shout out to the people over on Kick, Brother Sonny. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Very nice. Thank you, Hassan. There was this other news report about Kobe. Kobe, rest in peace, Kobe. They made an idol out of him. An idol. A graven image. CNN shared this quote on Friday, the 9th of February. This moment isn't just for Kobe, but it's for all of you that have been rooting for him all of these years, said Vanessa Bryant, his wife, his widow, because Kobe Bryant died in that helicopter crash some years back, along with his daughter and a pilot. Was it an Armenian pilot? You know, the helicopter pilot. They were flying through the fog in the early morning from like Malibu area to, or Calabasas or something, where up in that way, the rich area, down to somewhere down that away to do a little basketball practice or something. And they crashed. And other people died too on that helicopter. Like, I want to say like 8 people. I could be completely mistaken. Like 6 or 8 people, I think. But we only know about Kobe and his daughter, 14 or 13 years old. But he's a basketball player. Very talented. Drafted at like 18 or 21. I think he was 18, right? Right into the NBA. He was all skinny at the time. His neck was kind of funny. And then he became very athletic. One of the greats, arguably. So this Vanessa Bryant woman shared remarks Thursday. It's about her. But anyway, that's just human nature. Sharing remarks Thursday as the Los Angeles Lakers unveiled a 19-foot statue of the late basketball legend. I remember my Asian friend, he'd be jogging and daydreaming about playing one-on-one Kobe Bryant. You and me. Those Asian talented basketball players. All short. There was an emotional ceremony for this unveiling. The base of the statue bears inscriptions of many of Bryant's career accomplishments, Kobe's as well. Kobe's, that is, I mean. As well as one of his most iconic quotes. And have you heard this quote before? Leave the game better than you found it. And when it comes time for you to leave, leave a legend. Isn't that nice? I don't remember that quote. Kobe was overrated, says Lord Baby 42. That's fine. That's fine. if you're going to be that hyped, you're going to be overrated, I guess. Black Mamba. A mamba was a snake, I think. So he was like a... My friend said he had the killer instinct. He performed well under pressure. He could handle pressure and come through and win. Mr. Pink says Kobe was definitely the best shooting guard in his era. Not many could put up 70 in one game, 70 points. And the championship with Shaq, that's true. Kobe was definitely a top 15 of all time. Nice. Right on. Iconic needs to be banned. I know, they throw around these words. That's commie nonsense for you. I don't like these ladies who use all these big words. I do like the ladies, but I like these ladies who use these big words, but I don't like them using these big words like boo. I read in the Hake news report, and it threw me all off, and you guys were correcting me, that Usher was performing with his boo, B-O-O. Doesn't that sound like boyfriend? Even when I'm with my boo, you know I'm crazy about you. It's boyfriend type of thing, right? I think. That's what I gather from context. That's a good song. But they said Usher was with his boo, Alicia Keys. And so I'm like, I'm not going to use the term boo. So I said girlfriend. But Usher is not necessarily girlfriends with Alicia Keys that we know of, right, Chad? Not real boo. Oh, so like they was kind of playing, oh, you're my boo. That's just kind of like we're buddies. We're playing like we're together, but it's just sort of flirty just for the show, just for the song. Her husband is Swizz Beatz. Swizz Beatz. Is he part Swiss? Or are his beats Swizz? But yeah, I've heard of that name. Kind of a light-skinned black, I think. But it completely threw me off, and it made my news report false. Hake news was fake news. It's Trump waving flag. It's Trump flag waving kind of stuff. I've already explained away the Trump waving the flag thing. He was doing it because of supporters. He's not going to turn away the gays just for supporting him. He'll wave the thing and be like, yeah, it doesn't mean, oh, we hate Christians and gay is okay, necessarily. Alicia Keys is married to Swizz Beatz, and Usher, oh, no, Hake. Alicia Keys and Usher have a song called My Boo, says Amazing Asia. Oh, really? See, Hake doesn't know anything. Boo is kind of related to beau. Yeah, beau, my beau. Or a woman has a beau. Like Beau Biden. Or Beau and Luke Duke. Beau, spelled like beauty. Okay, thank you for the clarification, Amazing Asia. See, the ladies at the Skim act like you're in on this lingo. And they look so cringy writing that way to me, even though I don't see them. Oh my gosh, who cares? All I'm saying is they're throwing around words that are confusing and unnecessary. Like, oh, Trump's extremism, when he's just saying, Russia, do whatever you want to the NATO countries who are not holding up their fair share of their military spending. You know? We have like this female-minded media that distorts stuff. It's sick. Move on, we get it, says Cookie Crisp. Okay, you got me. I do the bidding. I am the slave. Hake is the slave of the snake pit. Indeed. Ken in Georgia is on the line. Ken, thanks for calling and holding. How you doing?
Hey, doing pretty good, Hake. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Hey, I just want to clarify a couple of things about that tithing, and one other thing. The tithing was given before the law with Abraham and Melchizedek, and then it was put into law to the Jews to give a tenth, not of money, but of their possessions, their things,
Sheep,
their fruits and vegetables and animals.
firstborn of their animals, stuff like that. That makes sense. Yeah, because they didn't.
Not so much the firstborn, but it was given to the Levites because the Levites did not have an inheritance. They didn't receive land.
Because they were the priests. They were the priests.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But see, the church took that on, and it's not even biblical now because Christ came to fulfill the law.
Yeah.
And so it's not tithing anymore. Somebody said earlier it was about giving, and I think it was you. You said be a cheerful giver.
Right.
That's what we're called to do, to give and to give cheerfully.
Yeah.
We're not under the law. We're not under tithing anymore. That's done away with.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
when was it done away with? Like, how was it done away with?
When Christ was on the cross, he said, and this is in Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. He said, think not that I am come to destroy the law and the prophets. I have not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
So
that word, now, fulfill means to complete it, right?
Yeah. Like that's more than just uphold. That's satisfy it.
Yes.
Okay.
And so it's done. It's done. There's no more priests. There's no more temple or nothing like that.
True. Yeah, that's true, huh? So, we don't do it. We don't have to do the animal sacrifices. But he even said, I desire obedience rather than sacrifice, because sacrifice was for disobedience.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's right. You said that's right. Obedience.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, one other thing. Did you catch that interview with Tucker Carlson and Putin?
I did. Yes, I did. What'd you think of it?
I think Putin was, well, let me put it this way. Putin told us who's running the country. He told us.
Yeah.
He told us, he gave us those three letters, CIA.
CIA is running. They're definitely doing stuff. They're definitely, the CIA is definitely doing things.
Yeah. They've been doing stuff for a long time, man.
Yeah.
And it's not good. It's really not good. And I know they don't want Trump in there because he's going to dismantle a lot of that stuff.
As much as he can, and that would be great. Tucker made a great point that in questioning Putin, are you saying that our elected officials are not actually in charge, but some unelected bureaucrats are kind of vetoing the desires and power of the presidents? Because sometimes presidents would make concessions to Putin, and then they would come back and say, oh, you know what? I was told I can't do this. So that's like the powers that be, the deep state, if you will, is the entrenched. Maybe they know more and they can talk him out of it, talk the president out of things because, oh, you can't do this because of that prior thing, that prior thing. But still, like you heard, there were generals who said that they were gonna definitely undermine Trump on all kinds of different things, the transgender thing, dealing with China, all that stuff.
Oh man, I tell you, man, it's I don't know, man. It's gonna be a hard battle for him,
Yeah.
4 years is not gonna be enough.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
Do you think that the country is ever gonna come back?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
It's
Trump
done.
is the man for the job, but I'm not
Mhm.
expecting him to be able to turn the whole country around. I just want him.
No.
I just like seeing a good man, a solid man for the job, doing his part, and then whatever will be, will be.
Yeah. I really, I'm hopeful for my grandchildren. I'm 68. I'll be 69 this year.
Yeah.
You know, only thing I can do is teach my grandchildren, my children.
Exactly.
That's all I can do.
That's right.
You know.
Yeah. It's no use worrying about who may or may not have rigged the Super Bowl or what's going to happen in 2024 or in the future, because that has nothing to do with us. You can only pay attention now.
No, man. Now, you said you didn't watch it. I watched it, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. The people that watched it, they know this, and this is dealing with Taylor Swift.
Uh-huh.
Every time KC scored, you know who they shot a picture of?
Her.
Yes. Yes. And I'm like, what does that got to do with it?
I know.
Got to do with it?
That's what there's a lot of interest in that. And so naturally they would do it. And she's an entertaining person. So of course they're going to go to that. It's a attention / ratings thing. I know it's irritating to the people who are just there for the sports. And they see this woman as a distraction, and she is. But the sports themselves are a distraction too.
Yeah. It's no longer like it was when I was a kid. You know, it's just
it's not
all
wholesome.
a money game. Yeah. It's not, man. I mean, the halftime show, Usher ought to be ashamed of himself. It was sorry, man. It was sorry. Yeah.
I heard that he was handsy with, meaning touching, feeling with Alicia Keys. Is that what you mean? That type of stuff, like dirty?
Well, not that, but it's like, where he was, and all that was. I'm gonna tell you, man. All you saw was really what I call the Atlanta connection, because they what's his name was in there, Dupree was in there, Ludacris, all them. Alicia, she lives in Alpharetta, Georgia. You know.
Okay.
And so. And you know, Usher was from Chattanooga, and he lived in his mama and them moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
So that was that. I call that the Atlanta connection. You know?
True.
But yeah, man. I mean, Usher ought to have been ashamed of himself because he hadn't had a hit in years.
Right.
And and I'm like, why would they show him? Well, okay, then they had to bring on these other people to make the show about something.
Okay. Funny.
Yeah, but it wasn't that much, man. They could have shot some highlights of what Michael Jackson did years ago. It would have been better, man.
I think that they used Usher because similar reason that they used those, I'm going to call them washed up, but I'm just being sort of silly / malicious. Those old 90s rappers, 50 Cent and all of them. Remember a couple years back, they used all those 90s rappers on stage at the halftime show. It's sort of a throwback feel with Usher. The parents, to bring the parents, the Gen X and millennial parents, to be more interested in watching. But you're right; they had to use all these other people who still have a name to this day, type of a thing. I mean, Usher kind of has a name. Like isn't he responsible for Justin Bieber? Like he raised.
Yeah, well, you know. Yeah, that's all part of Puffy's camp, though, man.
Oh, okay.
You know, yeah. See, that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's all part of Puffy's camp.
Okay.
I noticed something, man. They're pushing down. They kind of push back on Beyonce, even though Beyonce was in the commercials, man.
Yeah.
They had to show her. Right. And it was but it was like, come on. Really?
Several years ago, she did a Black Lives Matter / Black Panthers halftime show. I remember. Yeah. Maybe like close to 10 years ago.
Man, that was.
It's been bad. It's been a mess for a while.
I know it, man. I know it. I'm like, golly, man. Can't they show something better? You know.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is, man.
True. It's been going downhill. The morality, the decency has been going down. It's not family friendly anymore at all.
No, it isn't, man.
Yeah.
It isn't, and that's sad. You know, that's what the liberals have been trying to do. The what's the word for the other people? Well, we just say the communists and the ones that just pull down the morals, man. They did it from the educational standpoint.
Yeah.
And now they've permeated into all the facets of American life, man.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, great call, Ken in Georgia. Thank you for the education.
Hey, man, thank you, man. You and Jesse, y'all are awesome, man.
Appreciate it. Call me again sometime, man.
Hey, you got it, brother.
All right.
You got it.
Bye.
Uh-huh.
Over on a couple of super chats have come in at least one anyway. Usher had a residency in Las Vegas and is touring right now. It was just a promotional gig last night. Oh, you know you're washed up if you have a residency in Vegas. I remember Britney Spears had one. I remember, like, the New Kids on the Block had one. According to Big Bump. Thank you, Big Bump. Oh, let's go watch Usher in Vegas. Right on. We wish him well, but he never seemed that bad to me. I only know that one song, Yeah, and then In the Club, I disavow that track. It is catchy, though. It is catchy. A super chat, Coffee over on Ko-fi says, don't read this out loud. Don't read this out loud. I shall not read it out loud. But thank you for the tip. I'm aware, and I think it's okay. I don't know. Not sure. But thank you for the heads up. Thanks for looking out, I guess. You're trying. You mean well. Let's see. Lamps bought our coffee. Pithy means concise and forcefully expressive. I like the way you do beach, James. Nice. Thank you, Lamps. Appreciate that. Popcorn's Thump Keg bought a coffee. R.I.P. Rest in peace. To marathon world record holder Kelvin Kiptum, only 24 years old. He set the marathon world record of 2 hours and 35 seconds just last year in the Chicago Marathon. Wow. I heard that he died like in a car accident along with like his coach and maybe some other people either died or got injured or something. 2 hours almost flat. 2 hours flat. His records equates to around a 4-minute, 35-second per mile pace. That's flying. I can't even run that for 1 mile. Maybe at one point I was in shape enough to do something like that. I ran a 440 flat. Sophomore year, I think. Maybe it was junior year. I kind of had a lame junior year. High school, buddy. To anyone who has ever run, you can appreciate how insane it is to keep that speed up for 26 consecutive miles. 26.2 specifically. Yeah. If you have a 1 mile personal best of 4:35, you're considered a quite decent runner. Yeah. It's unreal to imagine being in such shape you can run at that pace for 2 hours. A lot of people go sub 4. Roger Bannister was a guy who was a scientist, and on his breaks, he had like a 35-minute lunch break, and he would run. He would do his workouts at his lunch break. Talk about efficiency, time efficiency. You can do stuff that you are not even aware that you can do. Opportunities squandered many times. The running world is looking forward to an Olympic showdown this year, between him and Eliud Kipchoge, the previous world record holder. Are these guys both Kenyans? Kiptum and Kipchoge? Previous world record holder and only other person to run under 2 hours in the marathon, unofficial. Wow. Thank you for the heads up, Popcorn's Thump Keg. Didn't know you knew all this stuff. That's cool. Yeah, rest in peace. I saw that in Hake News. Well, I didn't mention it in Hake News, but I saw that from Commie Nonsense Network, a in memoriam. Let me read this to you. In memoriam, current marathon world record holder Kelvin Kiptum died in a road accident Sunday night. Kenyan police confirmed it. Oh, it was in Kenya, huh? 24 years old, tender age, gone too soon. He was a grown man, though. His coach, Gervais Hakizamana, was a passenger in the vehicle and died at the scene of the crash as well, apparently, while a third occupant survived with serious injuries. Figures across the world of athletics offered tributes and lamented the loss of such an athlete in his prime. Yeah, 24 is... When you're a distance runner, meaning long distance runner, meaning like marathons, it's not like a sprinter. A sprinter's prime is like 20s, maybe 30. A long distance runner can be breaking records, or I don't know about breaking records, but compete at a high level because it's longer distance at like 40 years old. I mean, you see some of these football players play it, at least the, these quarterbacks, they play a long time. Ooh. Gypsy Jib Jab says Robert Patrick, that's T-1000 in Terminator 2. He was the one with like cat-like, he was skinnier. He was a former track runner. He kept outrunning the dirt bike, says Gypsy Jib Jab. Wow, I didn't know that about him. He was also in a season or two or something of The X-Files, Robert Patrick. I wondered how he stayed so fit. He was always so fit. He's still around, I think. I see your marathon and I raise you an Ironman triathlon where you run a whole marathon and then you also do a bike 100 miles and you also swim like what? How many miles do you swim? 2 miles? Or is it not 20 miles? No, you don't swim 20 miles. 2 miles. 2 mile swim? I did a Tin Man triathlon, which is 1/10 of the Ironman triathlon. So I would ride 10 miles and then swim a 1/4 mile. But before that, I would run 5K. I don't know. 2.62 miles. Tin Man triathlon. My brother put it together. Shout out. Anyway. Let me show you this evil Republican woman against Trump in the last couple of minutes here before I have to end. I meant to show this to you Friday. Who is Norma Anderson? Do I have this? Yeah, Norma Anderson in there. I just want to spend like 2 or 3 minutes because I have to end on time for Joel Friday coming up next, guys. The Colorado Republican leading the 14th Amendment challenge. This woman is, I think she's retired. But, you see it in there, in the folder there, Hassan? Hopefully it works. This is that old lady who is acting like she was this important person. See, there she is. It's a picture of her. Yeah. Like a mildly attractive old lady. Attractive in the sense of, kind of pretty for an old lady. Maybe a little heavy on the eyebrows, but she like looks sensible almost. And she's a Republican. But she's a Nikki Haley supporter. And she's in this thing against Trump. I didn't realize I would go down in history as Anderson versus Trump, she told the CNN in an interview. Retired, not R-worded. So this woman is all into her ego and taking down Trump. She was the first woman to hold senior positions in like the Colorado State House. The beginning from 1990 in the late 90s into the early 2000s. This gal. If Nikki Haley makes the ballot, she has my vote. Colorado has gone liberal under her watch. Poor lady. Now it's Democrat run. She was recruited by the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington crew. Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington. And I think they're the ones, I don't know if they're the ones who kind of went after Couey Griffin, the Trump supporter, Cowboys for Trump. But they're the ones saying, oh, Trump is not eligible to run for office because he's he did an insurrection. And that's how she sounds. She literally sounds like that. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't heard her speak. Her head is perfectly round. Yeah, nice hair. I like her hair. Is that her real hair? That's a full head of hair. No, I'm not into her like that. Anyway, I gotta end. This has been the Hake Report. I gotta go Joel Friday TV next. So this is Menomena. E is Stable from the 2003 album I Am the Fun Blame Monster. Adios, America. Bye. Well, I'll stick around. Do you hear it? It's Christian. I saw these guys. Maybe in 03. Or 04. Yeah. Right out of college. You have 10 minutes, Hake. I have to end 5 minutes early. Joel Friday is coming up next. You like the piano? It's about a marriage gone wrong.
There's a man 10 feet down the hall, bound to me by law. 26 years of alibis, all mutual,
What's up, Nordic Frost? Ohio Sentinel says the verse in Old Testament is repeated by Jesus. I desire mercy, not sacrifice. Wow. I remember that.
This old frame once was beautiful. The proof is on the shelf. This old frame once was beautiful. Close your eyes if it helps. Your hands used to work miracles.
Oh, yeah.
Skin on skin, I rush.
Oh.
Your hands used to work miracles.
Hosea 6:6, I desire mercy, not sacrifice. For me alone, but not anymore. Must be about an unfaithful marriage. In Samuel, it says, to obey is better than sacrifice. Something like that. 1 Samuel 15. Obedience and mercy. Anyway, I gotta run. Joel Friday coming in. Thanks, guys. Adios, America. Bye.